Hey you guys, this is Mr. Herrick from RockOnEdu. Now I want you to imagine yourself as an amazing reader, and with practice and some help, you'll get there. I mean, really imagine yourself an explorer of anything and everything that you can imagine. Don't get nervous about reading. Come on. Hey, nobody knows every word. So relax and enjoy your learning and the discoveries. You're never too young to read a book. Find someone to read to and one to read to you. Sharing books, it's fun. Set up a special reading time with your family or friends. Take turns reading and helping each other read. Now, get ready to read!
The Really Awful Musicians. Story and Pictures by John Manders. Once upon a time, in a kingdom amazingly far away, music sounded incredibly, well, bad. The king couldn't even stand to listen to his own royal musicians. One at a time, they weren't so awful, but together, they sounded horrible. The king couldn't face another evening of it. Enough! No more loud, soft, fast, slow, screechy, bellowy, terrible musicians. Hire me some mimes, he thundered. He decreed that henceforth music would be banned throughout the kingdom, and anyone caught playing music would be fed to the royal crocodiles. The king's men-at-arms were everywhere, rounding up musicians. The royal crocodiles never had it better. In an out-of-the-way village, little Piffero played a tune on his pipe. Poot, 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 poot. Thum, 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 went his drum. But the royal men-at-arms found his hiding place. "Help me, Charlemagne," Piffero whispered to an old dray horse grazing nearby. The horse's name wasn't really Charlemagne, but he liked the sound of it. He was proud of his mane. Piffero vaulted onto his back, and off he rode into the night. All night long he rode. Before dawn the next morning, Piffero and Charlemagne were greeted by a sound that was almost too fast to hear. "I, Espresso, am the fastest musician in the kingdom. Fast, fast, fast," blurred the mandolin player. "I can play a 3-minute waltz in just under 12 seconds. We're escaping from the king's soldiers, if you want to come with us," said Piffero. On they rode. Piffero's pipe went, went his drum. Espresso's mandolin went. As the sun rose, Piffero, Charlemagne, and Espresso noticed a teeny tiny wee little tune that was almost too soft to hear. It was a little musician playing a tiny harp. "I'm Serena the Silent," she whispered. "I hope I'm playing quietly enough." "What?" asked Charlemagne and Espresso. "Come with us if you don't want to be an appetizer for the royal crocodiles," said Piffero. So on they rode. Piffero's pipe went his drum. Serena's tiny harp went. Espresso's mandolin went. Around noon, they were nearly knocked over by sound waves. The sackbut player paused for breath and said, "Congratulate me. I, Fortissimo, won the loudest musician in Boombardi Award this morning." "But Boombardi is at least 3 days' voyage from here," said Charlemagne. "That's what makes it so impressive," boomed Fortissimo. "Jump in the cart," sighed Piffero, and on they rode. Went Fortissimo's sackbut. Piffero's pipe went. Went his drum. Serena's harp went. Espresso's mandolin went. A few leagues down the road, they almost flattened the slowpoke inching along in front of them and going. "Can't you go any faster?" asked Charlemagne. "No," replied Lugubrio sadly. "I started playing this particular piece when I was a boy, and I'm just now starting the middle section." "Well, climb aboard. The king's crocodiles are hungry already," said Piffero. On they rode. Went Fortissimo's sackbut. Went Lugubrio's contrabass recorder. Serena's harp went. Piffero's pipe went. Went his drum. Espresso's mandolin went. All afternoon they played as they rode. They played fast, slow, loud, and soft, all at the same time. Finally, Charlemagne couldn't stand it anymore. "Enough, you guys sound terrible. Why don't you all play together?" The musicians stopped and looked at each other. Then at the horse. Charlemagne drew 5 long lines in the dirt. "These lines are us riding along. I'll make hoof prints on the lines to show high notes and low notes. The high notes will be up here, the low notes will be down here, and the middle notes will be in the middle. I'll mark time with this stick, so you'll know when to play the next note." They looked at Charlemagne's hoof prints and followed his stick. While they played, each musician listened to the others. When they all played together, the music sounded beautiful for the first time ever. And then the king's coach came barreling down the road. "Halt!" cried the king. "Do I hear musicians?" Before the men-at-arms could grab them, Piffero, Espresso, Serena, Fortissimo, and Lugubrio started to play together. The men-at-arms applauded. "Gadzooks, how lovely!" cried the king. "How would you like to play at my castle?" "You won't feed us to your crocodiles?" asked Piffero. "Not if you play like that," decided the king. "They can eat the mimes." And so, Piffero and his friends became the king's musicians in residence, and beautiful music was heard everywhere from then on.
RockOnEdu now presents Hey, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that video. I sure did. What a funny story. Well, unless you're those musicians getting fed by alligators. But come on, man, they should know you play on the beat. Play on the beat. That's what I always tell my students. You got to play on the beat. If you're not playing on the beat, then everything just goes crazy and it just doesn't sound good. All right. I'll tell you what, we're going to go over some vocabulary that's taken right out of the book. All right. And my co-host, he will read the word to you, and then I will give you the definition of those words. And my co-host is, drumroll, Mr. Herrick, I present. Yeah. How you doing, Mr. Herrick?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Mr. Herrick?
Pretty good. Yeah. All right. Look at that. 2 Mr. Herricks.
All right, let's get to it.
Let's do this. All right. First word.
The first word is dawn.
And dawn is the first sight of daylight. In the morning,
the beginning of something, like the dawn of a new day.
The beginning of this vocabulary lesson.
Yes, it's the dawn of new vocabulary. I like it. Let's move on.
All right. The second word is decreed.
And decreed means to command, order, or decide by law or religion. And I want to say parents decreed a lot as well. They really do. Mine did. Like bedtime. I mean, it's decreed.
It's a law. A rule.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Decreed. It's part of life. All right, here we go.
Evening.
Yes. Evening means the latter part of the day and early part of the night. That is what evening is.
Yes. And then greeted is our next word.
That means to meet, receive, or welcome someone. How you doing, sir? It is nice to meet you.
Mr. Herrick?
Yeah, pretty good, Mr. Herrick. I greet you. That's greeting.
We greet you too.
Yes, how are you doing? Nice to meet you.
All right, then musicians is our next word.
That is any person skilled in music.
Which with this story, they were good on their own, but when it came to working together, not so much.
Oh, a little lacking in musicianship, for sure. All right.
All right, then the next word is pause.
Pause means having temporarily stopped or resting, especially in speech or action. This is called a rest in music. It is.
Yeah.
A silent spot.
And then if
Call
you
that a
need to
rest.
pause this video anywhere to write down some notes or anything, you can do it.
Oh, I love that idea. That is great. Like if I was them and I saw a word I didn't know, I'd be like, pause, right? And then jot that down. I'd even double check to see if the people talking about it even had the right definition.
Yeah.
But that's me. I'm into being thorough. Ooh, what's going on here? We're bringing the place down.
Okay.
All right.
Then the next word is replied.
Okay. Replied means having responded by some action, performance, or answered in words, writing, or responded. That's what that means.
Yes. Residence.
Residence means the place, especially the house, okay, in which a person lives or resides, a dwelling.
Like this is our residence.
Yeah. A home.
The nebula.
Yeah, this is where, yeah, exactly. This is where we reside now.
Yes.
All right.
For right now.
Yeah.
For just this vocabulary.
We're in
lesson.
between places, as you
Yeah.
can see.
Yeah. We're traveling through the sky. All right. Let's get back to it. Then the next word is section.
In section is one of a number of parts that can be fitted together to make a whole, or a part that is cut off or separated from something else.
Yes.
That's a section.
All right. Then I think this is the last word. I believe so. Is voyage.
And voyage is a course of travel or passage from one place to another. You're like bon voyage, you know, people just
Like a
say,
journey.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly like a journey.
we hope you had a wonderful voyage on this lesson of vocabulary.
Absolutely. I know I did. Even when I tried to bring down the house, right? That's how excited we are.
Not really a house, more in outer space.
Well, yeah. Okay. That's true.
Bring down the stars.
Yeah. Bring down the stars.
Now that would be bad.
That would be. Okay.
Be kind of hard to run away.
It
But
would be. But that would be a voyage, wouldn't it?
yeah.
All right. We're so glad we had this voyage with you. And we can't wait to see you next time on Rock On EDU. Check out the credits. Am I right?
Yeah.
Check them out for sure. Adios.
Wait. RockOnEdu.